There's a reason Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has sold over 40 million copies. It's not just some self-help book, it's a genuine, proven roadmap for personal change. So, the big question is, how do we take this timeless wisdom and actually use it in our lives? Well, let's dive in and break down the core principles.
It's a question we all wrestle with, right? Is it about some new time management hack? Being more disciplined? Or is it something a lot deeper? Well, the 7 Habits argues that the real secret isn't in what you do, it's all about who you are.
The entire foundation of this book, the whole thing, rests on one single powerful idea, the inside-out approach. So forget about quick fixes or just tweaking your personality. Covey says that if you want to truly change your life, you need a fundamental shift in your core.
And look, the idea here is actually pretty simple, but it's really profound. To change your results on the outside, you absolutely have to start by changing yourself on the inside. It all begins with the lens you use to see the world, your paradigms. When you work on your character and what drives you, those lasting external changes, they just naturally follow.
Think of it like this. You can't just snip off a few bad leaves and expect a tree to get healthy, right? No way. To make real, lasting change, you have to strike at the root. True effectiveness comes from working on the very core of who you are.
So, the habits aren't just a random list. They actually guide you through this really clear journey of growth. We all start out at dependence, relying on others. Then, through self-mastery, we move to independence. And finally, we arrive at interdependence, which is the highest level of effectiveness, where we team up with others to achieve incredible things.
And listen, this is a huge point a lot of people miss. Independence is not the final goal here. The highest form of effectiveness is actually interdependence, where strong, independent people collaborate to achieve things that none of them could ever accomplish alone.
Okay, so before you can even think about winning with other people, you have to master yourself first. This is what Covey calls the private victory, and it's built entirely on the first 3 habits.
Habit 1. This is the big one. It's the bedrock for everything else that follows. Being proactive means you truly understand that you are the creator of your life. You are in charge.
See, being proactive is a choice, plain and simple. Instead of just reacting to what happens to you, you take the initiative. You start changing your language from, I have to do this, to, I choose to do this. And this is critical. You focus your energy only on the things you can actually control, what he calls your circle of influence.
And I love how Covey does this. He literally breaks down the word responsibility. It's not some heavy burden. It's your responsibility, your fundamental power to choose your response to absolutely anything and everything.
Okay, so you've embraced that you're in the driver's seat. Awesome. Now, where are you actually going? Habit 2 is all about personal leadership. It's about knowing your destination before you even take a single step. Covey has this brilliant idea that everything in life gets created twice. First, it's a mental creation, like a blueprint, and then it's a physical creation. That's exactly why having a personal mission statement is so vital. It becomes your personal constitution, that unshakable core that guides every single decision you make. And, this is the real payoff of having that mission statement. When you're centered on solid principles that don't change, you're not easily knocked off balance by what's going on around you. You have this deep internal stability.
All right, so if habit 2 is all about creating the blueprints in your mind, habit 3 is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you actually bring that vision to life through smart, effective personal management.
This matrix is a total game changer. Most of us, we live in quadrants I and 3, just bouncing between crises and interruptions. But highly effective people, they play a different game entirely. They pretty much ignore the unimportant stuff, they shrink crises by planning ahead, and they spend most of their time in quadrants in 2. That's where the magic happens. Working on long-term goals, building relationships, and preventing problems. That's what creates extraordinary results.
This quote just sums it all up perfectly. It's a complete shift in thinking. You don't try to squeeze important things into your busy schedule. Nope. You put the important things, your quadrant 2 activities, on your schedule first.
All right, once you've achieved that private victory, you're ready to level up and move into the public arena. The next few habits are all about achieving success with other people, the public victory. We're going to focus on the one mindset that underpins them all, habit 4.
The very first step into that public arena, it's a total shift in how you think. It's all about moving away from that competitive I win, you lose mentality to one where everybody benefits. Now, win-win isn't just some negotiation tactic, and it's definitely not about just being nice. It is a complete philosophy for how you interact with people.
It's based on this core belief that there's plenty of success to go around, and one person winning doesn't mean another person has to lose.
But to really live a win-win life, you need a seriously strong foundation. It starts with your own character, having integrity and what Covey calls an abundance mindset. From there, you build high-trust relationships. And finally, you create systems and processes that actually reward people for cooperating.
And just remember this, you absolutely cannot fake win-win. If you try to use it as some kind of manipulation technique, people will see right through you. It has to be a genuine philosophy that you live and breathe every day.
Now, this whole win-win mindset is what makes the next 2 public habits possible. Habit 5, seeking first to understand, then to be understood, and Habit 6, which is all about synergy. But there's one final habit that powers them all, the one that ties this whole system together, and that's the principle of renewal.
And that brings us to the final habit, the one that makes all the others go, sharpen the saw. It's simply the principle of self-renewal, constantly investing in yourself physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. This is the habit that fuels that upward spiral of continuous growth.
Whew, we've gone through a lot, right? But look, real change always starts with one small step. So I'll just leave you with this question. What's one thing you can do today to be more proactive? Because that, right there, is where your journey to effectiveness truly begins.